there's awkward, and then there's I need to leave the room awkward. Today is all about the second one. And if you live for dissecting this exact brand of cringe, chaotic energy, do yourself a favor and subscribe to the Star Report. Meghan Markle gave a masterclass on the Drew Barrymore Show in how to fail your own rebrand, and we really need to talk about it. It was supposed to be this soft, cozy, I'm just like you chat to sell her new lifestyle. Instead, it became one of the most baffling, uncomfortable, and frankly revealing interviews you'll ever see. The human connection glitch. So, Meghan walks out, and the vibe is immediately dialed up to 11. She's in her signature head-to-toe beige, of course. There's a big, dramatic hug with Drew. There's hand-holding. It's all very, we're just two girlfriends having a chat. She immediately launches into this monologue about the importance of showing up for each other and how, after the pandemic, we've all missed human connection. And this is where my eye started to twitch. Because if there's one thing Meghan's public-facing story isn't about, it's, well, showing up for people. This is, after all, a woman who has become famous for her ability to freeze out anyone who no longer serves a purpose. We saw it with her father. We saw it with her siblings. We saw it with her royal era bestie, Jessica Mulroney. We allegedly saw it with the Beckhams. So, for her to sit there, brimming with this earnest, girl power energy, and preach about the power of female friendship, it just doesn't land. It feels like a person describing friendship, rather than a person living it. She seems to have a very small, very curated circle, which is totally fine. I have, like, 4 friends. But I'm also not trying to sell the concept of friendship as part of my global brand. It's this disconnect that makes it so bizarre. But it got worse. As she's talking about how much we crave human connection, she does this thing. She turns to Drew, forcefully grabs her, and says, "Hi, my friend. Are you here?"
And connection, certainly after the pandemic and everything else, we crave that. We crave being able to go, "Hi," and like, "My friend, are you here?" And to really be able to hold and...
It was so painful. It was so painful to watch. Real. Connected. People don't talk like that. They don't announce their human connection as they're performing it. It was like watching a robot trying to imitate a human it had only observed from a distance. I think a human being would smile here. Maybe I should squeeze your hand now. It's this recurring theme with her. She says and does things that just feel off. They feel like lines from a script. It's not natural. And when you're trying to sell a lifestyle brand that is supposedly built on authenticity, this is the exact last thing you want to be projecting. The hospitality paradox. This brings me to my favorite part of the interview, where the rebrand really shot itself in the foot. Meghan is, of course, launching a lifestyle brand, so she started talking about hospitality. She says, and I'm paraphrasing, that the key to hospitality is how do you make people feel comfortable?
The show, certainly what hospitality has felt like for me is how do you make people feel comfortable? How do you show up for them in spaces where they might feel like, I don't know, is this really where I should be? Yes, you belong here.
I almost fell off my chair. This is the woman who, by her own admission in her Netflix documentary, made her future in-laws, Prince William and Princess Catherine, feel anything but comfortable. Remember that story? How they were all dressed up and she was barefoot and in ripped jeans? She told that story, thinking it made them look stuffy, but all it did was make her look disrespectful and unaware. Is that making people feel comfortable? Is trashing your entire family, your husband's entire family, on television with Oprah, while their 90-something-year-old patriarch is literally in the hospital, your idea of making people feel comfortable? Is making another reality series to trash them again right after the Queen died your definition of hospitality? The problem isn't just the hypocrisy, it's that she's admitting she knows better. She's sitting right there, telling Drew Barrymore that she knows hospitality is about making others comfortable, which means she was fully aware of what she was doing when she chose to make everyone around her uncomfortable. She can't help herself. The more she talks, the more she reveals this deep-seated narcissism, this "it's all about me" worldview that the public just can't stand. And she doesn't even see it. She's the one holding the shovel, digging her own PR grave, and she's smiling the whole way down. The lockdown love story. Speaking of her relationship with the royals, let's talk about her relationship with Harry. You have to listen closely when Meghan talks, because her tells are not in the big, grand statements. They're in the small, throwaway words she doesn't think anyone is analyzing. Case in point, during the interview, she was talking about her marriage to Harry, and the term she used was lockdown. She used it in that kind of slangy pop song way, like, I've got him on lockdown.
We have this connection, I think, because we're so committed to treating each other the same way you did before you had a ring on it, before it was locked down.
To me, this was one of the most telling, and probably the only truly honest, moment of the entire interview. It's so revealing. She doesn't view her marriage as a partnership. She views it as a lockdown. She got him. She locked him down. It frames their entire relationship as a capture, a goal that was achieved, which makes her next comment even more hilarious. She tells Drew, "I did not expect to meet H, and for this to be our love story." I have to ask, what love story are you talking about exactly? Are you talking about the one where, according to numerous reports from authors like Tom Bauer, you were actively social climbing to meet him? Are you talking about the part where, according to Lizzie Cundy, you were on the prowl for a wealthy, famous Englishman for years? Cundy tells this story about how she was allegedly scrolling through her phone with Meghan, who was trying to pick a guy and was even considering footballer Ashley Cole. The love story she's selling is not the one people remember. The one we saw was meet a prince, get engaged, gush in the engagement interview about how welcoming and great his family was. And then, when you don't get what you want, you burn it all to the ground. You isolate your husband from his entire family, his friends, and his country. That doesn't sound like a love story. That sounds like a nightmare. It sounds like a hostage situation. The tall tales of a nanny. Like all her interviews, this one was sprinkled with little anecdotes designed to make her seem relatable and plucky. She told this story about how she used to be a nanny for a family while she was a student. And look, maybe it's true. But at this point, why would I believe her? This is the same woman who went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and told that absolutely baffling story about her old car. The one where the key on the driver's side door supposedly broke, so she had to park at the back of parking lots, open the trunk, climb in, and then crawl over all her seats just to get out and go to auditions.
I was a babysitter nanny for 2 Irish Catholic families when I was in college. And one of the dads said to me, he's like, you know, Meghan, when you meet your person one day.
Any rational human being would just open the passenger door or get the $50 lock fixed. The nanny story feels just like the car boot story. It's an anecdote that feels just a little too perfectly crafted, a little too, woe is me, I'm just like you. And it comes from a person who has a famously flexible relationship with the truth. She's told so many little fibs that when she tells a story that might actually be true, nobody believes it. She has burned through all her public credibility, and she's trying to buy it back with stories that just sound like more lies. Meetings all day. From her past work as a nanny, we moved on to her current work. In an attempt to portray herself as a serious, hardworking businesswoman, she starts talking about her new brand and how she and Harry are so busy. She claims they're busy with meetings all day.
You know, we love doing school drop-off and pick-up for the kids. We make it a point, at least, I don't know, during the week, our days are busy with meetings, but we have lunch together every day.
Meetings. All day. And the entire internet collectively said, doing what? You've been in meetings for 5 years. Where are the products? Why, in 5 years, have you produced a grand total of 13 podcast episodes and a few Netflix documentaries? If you are in meetings all day, every day, for a year, and you have nothing to show for it, that's not a sign that you're a hard worker. That's a sign that you're incredibly unproductive and have no idea how to run a business. No successful business is built on meetings. It's built on productivity, on output, and her output is practically zero. Again, she's shooting herself in the foot. She's trying to sound like a mogul, but she just sounds like someone who's playing business, sitting in her Montecito mansion, having meetings that go nowhere. It just proves she has no idea what real work actually looks like. Whoever is with them, but for me, the most awkward part of the entire interview wasn't about her, or Harry, or the royals. It was about her children. Drew, trying to find some common mom ground, asks her about Archie and Lily. Meghan's response was chilling. She says, Archie and Lily are just 3 and 5, adding that just in there, as if to say, they're very young. Okay, fair. Then she tells this story about how, when she travels, she'll always pack a thin book and tape herself recording it. So that, and this is the quote.
Kids, because Archie and Lily are just 3 and 5, so I'll always pack a really thin book and I'll videotape myself reading it. So whoever's with them, or Papa can say, here's Mama reading your bedtime story. You find ways to show up for each other. And if that
whoever is with them can play it for them. Whoever is with them. Not something you hear the average mom saying, right? As if it could be the neighbor, the pool guy, some random person from upstairs. It was such a strange, cold, disconnected way to talk about her own children. She didn't say, so Harry can play it for them, or so my mom can play it, or even so the nanny can play it. I mean, wow. It was a massive slip-up. You could see her catch herself right after she said it, pausing on, oh, and then quickly adding, Papa, as an afterthought. But the damage was done. It was a small revelation that she never meant to make, and it essentially revealed that she's not with her kids that much. The zebra zone out. This disconnected parent theme didn't stop there. It got even weirder. Drew asked her if there are any moments where her kids do something British that surprises her. Meghan freezes. She says, yeah, lots of things, and then can only name one. The only example she could think of is that they pronounce the word zebra as zedbra. That's it. After a long, bizarre pause, zebra.
Oh, some of the words that they still say with a British accent, so they'll say zebra. And
I don't know about you, but all the parents I know can talk about their kids in excruciating, loving detail for hours. They know their favorite color, their favorite show, the funny way they mispronounce spaghetti. Meghan, when asked for lots of things, could only come up with zebra. It doesn't add up. It gives this overwhelming feeling that she doesn't actually spend a lot of time with her children and barely knows them. And for a woman trying to build a trad wife lifestyle brand, that is a fatal flaw. The Diana incident, but the clip that has the entire internet screaming, the moment that defines the entire interview. It was, fittingly, about Princess Diana. Drew Barrymore, in a genuinely sweet and vulnerable moment, starts talking about how she met Princess Diana when she was a child. She presented Diana with a teddy bear of E.T. It was a really special, personal memory for Drew.
It means so much to me to have met such an incredible human being that transcended everything. It was the honor of my life.
oh my gosh, well, I will tell H that for sure. And yeah,
Okay. Cool.
And Meghan's reaction is one of the most uncomfortable things I have ever seen. She puts on this painfully forced, tight smile. Drew is pouring her heart out, and Meghan just sits there, nodding, with this fake, plastered-on grin. When Drew finishes, Meghan's response is so dismissive, it's shocking. She just goes, "Oh, I'll be sure to tell H," and then does this forced, over-the-top laugh. She couldn't have screamed, "Get away from me," any louder. Think about it. The host of the show you're on is telling you she had a personal, cherished moment with your children's iconic, deceased mother. A normal human, a person with an ounce of empathy, would have been intrigued. She would have said, "Oh my God, really? How old were you? What was she like? What did she say?" Meghan asked. Zero follow-up questions. She dismissed it. She made a fake laugh to fill the space, and then she physically squeezed Drew's hand, which seems to be her go-to move when she's deeply uncomfortable. We saw her do it on a red carpet at a children's hospital gala, too. But why? Why was she so uncomfortable? I have a theory. Because the interview wasn't about her anymore. Suddenly, the focus was on Harry's mother, and it became clear, as the interview went on, that the hosts were more interested in Harry and Princess Diana than they were in Meghan or her new jam. And she couldn't stand it. The second the spotlight shifted off her, she froze. It was a moment of pure, unfiltered narcissism, and it was horrifying to watch. The rebrand is doomed. So why does one awkward interview matter? Because this rebrand, this American Riviera orchard, was supposed to be her big comeback. And this interview on Drew Barrymore was the launch party. It was her chance to show the world a new, softer, more relatable Meghan. And she blew it. In one 30-minute chat, she managed to reinforce every single negative perception the public has of her, that she's fake, that she's a hypocrite, that she's dishonest, that she's cold, and that she's a raging narcissist. Her rebrand is doomed because she is the problem. She can change the brand name, she can start a new Instagram page, she can get a new PR team, but she can't change her fundamental personality. And her personality is what the public has rejected. She has alienated every segment of the audience. Royal watchers are gone. The Hollywood elite are keeping their distance. The general public is skeptical. And the Gen Z crowd she's trying to court with this trad wife aesthetic isn't interested in a millionaire in a mansion pretending to chop vegetables. She has done the one thing you can never do in public life. She has made serious, life-altering, family-destroying accusations, and then tried to pretend they never happened so she could sell jam. She dropped the Oprah bombshell while Prince Philip was in the hospital. She trashed the Queen in her final years. And she has never once taken accountability for any of it. And that is why this rebrand will fail. Because she's avoiding the one thing that could actually save her, taking accountability and apologizing. What did you think of the interview? Was it as awkward as everyone is making it out to be? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, remember to join the Star Report by hitting that subscribe button. See you next time.